Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm David.
Welcome to the Singer Soapbox, episode 6.
Tonight we are going to vary a little bit from our recent episodes. In the past few episodes we've been talking about more informational type stuff. And tonight's going to be some of that too, but it's going to be actually more of a soapbox. Some of it's going to be kind of our opinion, but mainly it's going to be our perspective on a topic as musicians, and that is on the performing of the national anthem.
So we should preface this by saying and bringing up our first point that singing the national anthem isn't an easy thing to do. Maybe it's something you learned as a kid and it's just something ingrained in your head, and that's fine and that's great. But really, if you look at it from an analytical perspective, it's not easy. The range of the national anthem is almost a solid 2 octaves, and that's actually quite difficult as younger singers. So the younger you are, the more difficult it's going to be for you to sing, and to sing well, number one, but also to sing in a way that's stylistically appropriate nowadays, or what society considers stylistically appropriate and what we don't really.
Yeah. Well, and you know, something that's really important if you're going to perform the national anthem is that you figure out what key to sing it in. You know, you can find it published in various keys, but it may not fit your voice, you know, depending on, just because the range of it is so wide. You may have to adjust the key some so that you can have a good performance of it, you know, and ultimately that's, you know, when you do sing it, it's usually in front of a lot of people, so you want it to sound good. So that's a really important thing that you can do to make it go better for yourself.
And for those of you out there who are not really sure what we're talking about when we say adjusting the key, we mean looking at all the notes contained within that piece of music and finding a spot where the home bass sound, or do, would be most comfortable, and where also the rest of the notes are going to be in a more comfortable range for you. So the highest and the lowest at the same time are notes that you feel like you can achieve well whenever you're singing it. So,
yep.
Second point that we wanted to bring up is we really it kind of grinds our gears when people over embellish this piece of music. This is our country's anthem, so and I'm going to let you talk more about that, but it's when you start adding way too much to it, it just gets to be too much. Like, as an audience member listening, I can't help but sometimes cringe a little bit, like when I listen to people in the Super Bowl sing it, when I listen to people just at any major sporting event. I'm always kind of on the edge of my seat, like, oh, what are you gonna do? Yeah. Are you really gonna hold on to the integrity of this piece, or are you gonna lose it?
Yeah, and so, you know, when we say over embellish, we mean adding pitches that are not a part of the melody.
Yes.
And you know, I guess to an extent you could do that here and there, but if you do too much of it, you start to destroy the integrity of the melody, and it kind of becomes, I mean, people know you're singing the national anthem, obviously, but it kind of starts to become unrecognizable when some people do it. And Jess said that I needed to demonstrate this, so I guess I'm going to do. Yeah. And this is going to be pretty awful, but here you go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? And I'm picking all kinds of terrible notes there, but this is the point I'm trying to make. I just butchered that song. Okay?
Just in the first couple bars.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you sang notes that made sense. If you put too many in there, it's going to have the same effect. Even if they're nice sounding ones, it's going to have the same effect. So I would just caution people, if you're going to perform this, just don't over embellish it to the point that you destroy the integrity of the piece.
Yeah, because you don't really want to be known for somebody who went to sing the national anthem and you didn't. You know, so make sure that what you're singing is what you're singing. We're not trying to add a completely separate piece into the national anthem and pour it in and make it something that it was never intended to be.
Yeah,
So.
and don't assume, you know, just because you've heard this your whole life that you don't have to practice it. You know, this is something we talked about earlier, but there's been several times in my life when I've seen people forget the words, and that's nerves. You know, it's not that they're trying to be disrespectful or anything. They just got nervous and they forgot it. And as on our last video, we talked about one of the best ways to combat that is to practice and do it over and over and over again until it's ingrained in you. Because when you get in front of a big audience, especially something like this, you know, a lot of pressure is on you as a singer to perform this well. It can really set your nerves off and make you do silly things like forget words that you've heard your whole life and you've probably sung a bunch of times, but you need to practice it. You really need to practice it. And you know, I guess the final point that we really wanted to talk about is why you're doing it. Mm-hmm. So when you sing the national anthem, it's not about you. I mean, you're obviously
all about
it's not
you.
all about you. It's you're helping other people participate in a group activity that is, you know, if it's a sporting event or whatever, it's a time when we're honoring our country. It's a patriotic thing,
Yeah.
and it's not just about you and how well and you singing it. Mind you, if you make mistakes, people are going to notice because the song is so widely known and well known. They're going to know that. But just think about why you're doing it, and when you do things as a singer that detracts from that, then in my opinion, it's not good for what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, and it's become such an egocentric piece of music. Like, you just sort of expect, it's not necessarily about, oh yeah, we get to honor our country. Now it's, oh, who's gonna sing it and how are they gonna do? And that's not what it's about. That was never what it was intended to be. I mean, if you check back with Francis Scott Key when he wrote the poem, that was not at all what he intended. Oh, I can't wait for someone to perform this because that's what it's not about. Said no Francis Scott Key ever, you know. So
well, we weren't there. I guess we don't know if he said it.
No, but you know. Anyway, it's not supposed to be about that. So
yeah.
Don't make it egocentric. It's not totally about you. I mean, people want you to do well, and that's where it is about you, I guess you could say. But when it comes to performing it for mass amounts of people and honoring your country, I mean, think about it. If you're performing it for veterans or military members, it's definitely not about you then. I mean, think about the sacrifices they've made, and that's why you sing it right then, because you're trying to help them honor their country, and you're honoring your country yourself.
And you're honoring them.
Yeah, and honoring them and what they've done. So it's not totally about you. Sorry.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it goes.
So, and like I said, you know, some of this stuff is our opinion, obviously. But keep in mind, we're saying these things from the perspective of musicians who have done this before. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're putting these things out there for you to consider. And we'd like to invite you, if you're so inclined, in the comments today, after we post this video, we'd like to invite you to share your favorite national anthem performances. So you probably remember some, and you know, with YouTube nowadays they're preserved. You know, we can go back and look at different performances that have happened at sporting events, especially. So if you know of one that's on YouTube and you want to share a link to it, we'd love to see what your favorites are. Or
if you feel like there's a point that we missed and that you'd like to discuss, please bring it up, and maybe we can bring it up in the next video, or at least, you know, discuss it in the comments a little bit. So that's just kind of the stuff that grinds our gears whenever we listen to the national anthem, or whenever we hear that someone's gonna sing it of you know, highly respectable caliber, supposedly. So anyway, but that's pretty much all we had for this evening. So if you, like we said, if there's anything that you feel like you need to share, please post it in the comments, or if there's a performance of your favorite that you'd like to share, please post that too. Otherwise, like and follow us, share, subscribe, all the things, social media. We are there, and we would love to hear from you. And if you or someone you know is interested in taking vocal lessons or brass, woodwind, guitar, piano, what am I missing?
Drums.
Voice, drums, anything that you'd like to take, or you know somebody who'd like to, please call us or email us or text us even. We are available, and we will get back to you as soon as we can, and we look forward to hearing from you there as well. So thanks so much for watching this evening. We appreciate it, and have a great rest of your Monday.
Good night.
Bye.